49ers held closing press conferences today. If you guys don't know what it is, pretty much it is where John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan do their last press conference of the season. Exactly what it sounds like. And a lot of key things were talked about, and I'll cover that in another news and updates Niners video later today. But I think the main thing was Brandon Aiyuk. John Lynch talks about Brandon Aiyuk. We already know that Lynch and Shanahan are not too fond of BA. But yeah, this is kind of the icing on the cake. Today, John Lynch said it's safe to say he's played his last snap as a Niner. And it is kind of crazy to say, especially coming from the GM. Kyle Shanahan also talked about Brandon Aiyuk, and he said that BA eventually started ignoring him completely and hasn't talked to him in more than 3 months at this point. Brandon Aiyuk does not answer his phone calls or texts anymore from Kyle Shanahan or John Lynch, which is crazy. And then he also mentioned that's something I've never seen in 22 years of coaching, so there's a first for everything, I guess. But then this is an interesting thing I saw, like, what team really wants Aiyuk? Because it's obvious that the 49ers are likely going to cut Aiyuk. I'm not fully sure the path that we are going to exactly take. But yeah, I mean, the guy's coming off an ACL and MCL tear. He didn't play in 2024. He wasn't very good in 2024, though, when he did play in the first 7 weeks. He's not a great guy seemingly to have in the locker room because he's been ignoring texts and all that stuff. His agent and all those guys around him don't seem great. His mental health isn't great. He's worth about $30 million right now because that's what his contract says. I'm sure he wouldn't get that much money. And then he hasn't shown up in 3 months. I just don't know what to do with BA at this point. I'm sorry, I love BA, but he's not going to be a Niner, and he's turning into a major problem.